I was pretty much inventing my entire life. I developed, again, a tic-tac-toe playing machine when I was like 12. I actually invented a 3D TV when I was 13, I think, and took it to my high school science or electronics teacher, and he couldn't even understand how it worked, let alone give me an idea of whether it could be workable. I also invented a digital clock that never needed setting. It used a standard in the basement that broadcast over your AC power line and sent the time to any clock you plugged in. And so you have a brownout, you have a blackout, whatever. As soon as it comes back on, the clock is correct. So I was inventing. I mean, my goal really was to make something like that and sell 1 million of them on late night TV. I mean, what kid's dream wasn't that? Make 1 million of them.
I would say the best example really of my leanings toward game design was one Sunday night. I was sitting around my apartment because the next day I had a final in public speaking, or whatever, speech class, I guess it was called. And the final was give a speech but use a prop. So instead of just a speech, you actually had to have a prop to show. So I was staring at a piece of polar graph paper at the time, doodling on it, and I started coloring the squares on that polar graph paper, and pretty soon I said, I could make a circular chessboard out of this graph paper, and drew some lines on it to control which way you could move and that sort of thing. And I designed a 3-player chess game on one Sunday evening from scratch, and then created a poster-sized handout, showed up at the speech class, did my final showing this as the prop, this board, and explaining how the pieces would go and how the game worked, and explaining the entire game to the class, and then closing with, and who wants to play the game? And sat down, and so for the first time I got 2 other people, and we played 3-player chess. Never published the game, but I created a workable version of 3-player chess in an evening just because I needed a prop for the speech class.
My mother was a lifelong artist, and of course she made sure that her children had art classes and learned how to paint and that sort of thing, which held me in good stead later, because I had all the technological capability, but I'd also been trained artistically. And when it came to making video games, there's a left brain, right brain combination to those. They have to be creative, and they have to be very technical, and they have to be artistic and very nice looking, and they have to be, capable. You have to figure out how to do your dream, your design on a particular piece of hardware, which was very challenging in the Atari days. So, that was good training, but I just never liked the fact that I would spend hours and hours and hours creating a painting and only have one of them. I wanted to be able to mass produce. So that was really my goal, was to create products. And I guess Ron Popeil was my hero back then, who was the late night pitchman of the day. And so when the opportunity came to work at Atari, I thought, okay, there's a lot of work to make a video game, but as soon as I finished with it, they can make 1 million of them. So